I'm Chris Trott.
And I'm Harry Higgs.
And this is Wedge Play at Bandon Preserve.
Where's it going?
Is it coming back?
Is it just gone?
Welcome to Bandon Dunes, the Preserve. I am with my favourite guy we've got on staff, Mr. Harry Higgs. He's rolling, the buttons are down. We're out here, second hole, early doors, 91 yards, but we're here to hand over your brand new milk grind threes, sir.
Thank you, Trottie. I appreciate it.
Take a
it's
look.
It's quite an honor to receive these from you as well.
All the way up here. We had to fly all the way here to do it.
Oh, yeah. I had to travel quite a ways, but here we are. We got them.
I hope they're worth it. And what a place to test it.
Man.
I mean, look at this. We've got it all to ourselves.
Yeah. No, you're gonna find out whether you do or do not like a wedge here, especially one hitting some of the fun shots here at the Preserve, using some slopes, seeing how much you can spin it. And then just this firmer turf, and you really get a nice idea of how well engineered these things actually are.
You mentioned that when we got in last night, and I love that you brought it up already. Firm turf. Why is that key for your wedge testing early doors?
It's the hardest shot. So you might as well go to the mountaintop and see if you can pull that one off. And then the rest of it's pretty simple. You got to, and you know, there's times where you work with different bounces and different grinds, maybe, if you will. But I mean, early on, these things they went right through it. I mean, it was very simple. It was reacting exactly how I thought it should. Not digging, not bouncing too much. You know, you still had control when hitting off of a firmer lie, which is so lovely. So when it gets a little lush and a little bit more cushy, you know, then you've got full confidence to, you know, maybe even pull off the hero shot and just kind of wow some people.
First look at those bad boys. What do you think when you look down?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely, you know, whether I go 52, 56, 60, whether or not you even start with the, you know, 46, 48, the pitching wedge, it flows in from each one very nicely. And then it's just, to me, it's very clean, a little bit more square, and then that leading edge is not nearly as rounded as before. It's very straight. And I love that. I think it's great. When you open it up, it just looks like you can kind of do whatever you're going to want to do, you know. And I'm big on look. The look for me, and you know, when I go here and I want to hit a little high one, especially again off this firm turf, man, it just looks like the wedge is going to react exactly how I would expect it to, and so far it has, which is awesome.
As a consumer and people watching this, how do you pick? You already mentioned you went 52, 56, 60. How do you make the choices as a consumer as you build your golf bag?
Sure. I would say, so I carry 4 if we're including pitching wedge, which, you know, we all do. I would say it has to be at least 3 or 4. Everybody needs a lob wedge nowadays, just with kind of the way the golf courses are. Even your home club is probably, you know, a little firm and fast. You're going to hit it in bunkers. You're going to hit it short of bunkers and then have to hit it up and over them. So get a lob wedge.
58 degrees and up.
Yeah.
I
would say a 58 to a 60 would be totally fine.
Yep.
But I would suggest for most, we'll call it club golfers, probably to only have 3 wedges, because they're more than likely going to, you know, need maybe an extra hybrid or 5 wood probably. So yep. I'd go, you know, maybe even 58, 54, or 52, and then the pitching wedge, right, for them. For us, you know, out on tour, I think pretty much exclusively everybody has 4. You know, we just wind up driving it a little further and having more wedges, and then, you know, in and around the greens on any hole, but especially par 5s when you're trying to score and make birdie, you need some different options. You need some different lofts to try to, you know, get the ball close and make some birdies.
So Higgsy, everyone loves obviously hearing you and I chat. We could run our own morning show, I'm sure, but the real show is this 91-yard shot and the other beauties we've got going out there. Talk to me about your thoughts. I've got some TP5Xs down here. Okay. Where are you at? Pins tucked pretty close, but you talk through it. People want to hear you.
Yeah. 91, it looks like it's got to be 91 in the air, because one, there's a bunker that we've got at about 80 yards, probably 80 yards to cover, and then there looks like there's a bit of a false edge.
81 cover, so you can tell those eyes are warmed up.
Yeah, it's the sunglasses, baby. It looks like this ball's got to be in the air for probably at least like 86, 87. That'll kind of get a kick forward, and then 5 or 6 behind it, it'll kind of stop. This is a nice shot to start with too, because it doesn't really look like I have to be that exact left and right. If I go a little left and hit it hole high, it looks like it comes right down to it. And then even over there on the right, you know, long and right of it, it kind of should stop and just give me a good look to, you know, make a 2.
My pickup on that, and we had it a little bit offline before, is how positive the self-talk is. Most of us would stand here and go, geez, big trap looking at us, but it's not even in play, is it, right?
Well, it shouldn't be, yes. And you know, so I think people would probably be surprised that we also acknowledge all the bunkers and all the hazards. We just have either practiced or learned ways to just simply acknowledge it, don't give it any power, don't, you know, let it basically consume your shot.
Yeah.
You know, acknowledge there's a bunker short and there's a bunker left if I tug it, but then, you know, there's still plenty of green, and I'm still trying my best to see a successful golf shot. And then, you know, obviously some practice and some skill as I've accrued over, you know, a few years has made this shot maybe a bit easier. But it is okay to acknowledge hazards and acknowledge kind of the bad places that you do not want the ball to go. Just make sure that, you know, your kind of last thought is something a bit more positive, something a bit more, you know, it's something that will give you a chance to hit a successful golf shot, because that's all that anybody's trying to do.
Great message. I like it. The floor is yours,
All right.
Higgsmeister.
Got to be 85 in the air, and I'm pretty sure I can go left or right. Let's see if we can hold it. I like it, Trottie.
I like it too.
Oh, it took a big first bounce.
It did, but it's first shot of the day. You've left yourself with a pretty easy putt. I like it. Do you analyze anything if you're in a tournament and you come back, divot direction, divot depth, or even when testing clubs like this?
Not so much. If anything, I'll struggle, especially off some firmer turf, with just a little bit too much, I just call it turf interaction, right? So it's just another variable. If I get going, if I have too much turf interaction, usually for me, that means I've hit it higher on the face. So the ball will not come off with enough speed and tend to, one, go in the air a bit too much and land a bit short. No, I mean, really, truly the only thing other than that, and that's good turf interaction for me there. I do think the kind of square leading edge and the square look is actually going to help me with limiting my turf interaction, just making the strike cleaner. The only thing I really care about is where I struck it on the golf club, and that one there was fine. I liked the flight. It was just a little lower on the face and maybe a touch towards the heel for me. I do think I landed on a downslope, but I also might not have struck it just clean enough to have that thing stop as fast as I wanted it to.